Welcome everyone. Today, the revolt we're going to be looking at is going to be the Barbary States. Now, at one point, the Barbary States were considered to be very broken due to their thing your villas turn into, having the outlaw tag, so shadow teching a bunch and being quite strong. But nowadays, I just find them kind of boring. They're just as strong as other revolts, pretty much, for that initial push. But after that initial push, I find they're just kind of meh. They're not that... I don't even find their initial push that fun, just because I'm not a sword guy usually. I usually like guns. Unless I'm playing Spain, I like rods and lancers, but in general, I'm more of a fan of gun units. Now, as you saw, when we revolted, we got 10 of these guys, and we got all our villas turned into the Barbary Warriors. Now, Barbary Warriors are a lot like the Barbary Corsairs, except these guys are one pop, and obviously they have much weaker stats. They're a lot like the Rodoleros, so as you can see, they're very fast. They got the 40% hand attack resist. Multipliers against cav, but also uniquely they have multipliers against guardians and villagers, and that's the guardian thing I find interesting, because when you're already revolting that late in the game, generally you're not going to be getting treasures, so I don't quite understand the point of that. But the multiplier against vills is nice. You're supposed to be, you know, kind of like killing them, like your guys are running down vills, so that's interesting to me, although I don't find it all that great. Their siege is only 13, although they do have a siege rate of fire of 1.5. So really it's more like 26. But when you think about it, 26 siege really ain't that great. So really the siege is pretty meh in itself. This is the deck we're looking at here. We got, obviously, Infinite Forts. We got the Corsair marksman, those 16 Barbary Warriors, the Infinite Falcons. We got the thing to ship villagers and enable you to rebuild them. And we got some other things which we'll take a look at in just a little bit. I actually want to talk about these guys real quick. These guys are the Corsair marksmen. They were at one point very strong due to certain upgrades and stuff, but at this point, I don't know, I don't like them very much. They do have the outlaw tag, so when you do things like build... Let me speed always wins this real quick. So when you build, you know, your saloon and you upgrade it, their stats go up quite a bit, specifically their HP, but they're still not great stats. I mean, 22, rate of fire of 3. Now, there's more upgrades we could get at the arsenal and stuff, but just as like a base, this isn't great. It has a lot of multipliers, but multiplier against treasure guardians is kind of garbage. Multiplier against ships most of the time is not going to be useful. Multiplier against vills, that's whatever, but overall it's not like a strong unit. I would say it's a very weak Cassador, in my opinion at least. And honestly, I wouldn't ever go for this because they're pretty expensive. 35 food, 80 coin. They can be one pop if you send theaters before your ult, but I don't know, I just don't like them. I'd rather get Cassadors or Bassilingers or Abusguns or Fire Throwers, which are the units that which are the skirm for the civ, those different civs. Or I'd rather get crossbows probably too. As you can see, their siege, just like this guy, is a little bit faster. It's a 2 rate of fire, but it's still, that's not great. Just not great siege. There are some interesting cards here. This one here is the Corsair Captain. It's basically sends a powerful explorer who can kill treasure guardians and all that. And this shipment also makes it so when you destroy a building, you get coin equal to that of the XP. So it kind of is comparable to Mexico's Age 2 card, where you get 4 food when you destroy buildings, but in this case it's coin. That would be nice, except that your combos here, they're really not good siege, so it's not like you're destroying buildings very fast. If you got coin for killing vills and stuff, now that would be good. But of course, you know, Mexico has everything, so of course Mexico has that, and this doesn't. But if you got coin for killing units, that would be strong, but you only get coin from destroying buildings, so and you don't got great siege, so that's whatever. The Air Berbers is quite interesting. Ships you a Berber Nomad for each trading post and town center you control, so you can get that up pretty high, especially as Portuguese or Ottomans, because you'll have a lot of TCs. The 15 Berber Allies is a nice shipment for 1v1s. You know, these guys will be weak to cannons, so if you want to ship those 15 guys to go kill your cannon, the enemy cannons or whatever, you can do that. So also Team 4 Zanata Riders. Seems a little bit late in the game. Maybe if you could fast Revolt and then ship this, it would be really strong. But overall, it's not like especially good, I don't think. And obviously in 1v1s, it's going to be even worse. I think that's it for the deck. It's a pretty small deck. And yeah, it's pretty... I don't really have anything else. There is this thing also lets your Barbary Warriors gather from crates, which if I crate shipments, that'd be great, but I don't. So I have to try to like steal my opponents or something. Which that late in the game, if you're able to steal your opponents' crates, I think you're winning already. I don't like this just because the units are kind of weak, at least in my opinion. At least past the initial push, they're kind of weak. But also just it's a very small roster. I mean, sure you'll have your normal units at your barracks and stuff, but because yeah, let me put it this way: when we compare what we're available here to what you're available in the campaign to the Barbary States, this is just very sad. In the Barbary States, you have special cav, you have special archers, and all this stuff, and they have all those assets from the campaign. So I really would like them to port that over to the Revolt, so you actually turn into the Barbary States. You don't just add a couple units from them. I think that would be a really cool function. You could have cards or whatever that cost stuff to enable Age 5 upgrades, and there's a lot they could do here because they already have those assets from the Barbary States campaign. So I don't know why they haven't used that. Hopefully they do in the future. I know other people have suggested them using those assets. But I definitely think it could be fun. You could even have like a 10,000 gold shipment. You could have something that costs 10,000 gold and enables Imperial Mercs or something like that. It's just something cool. I mean, you could even make it where you go a lot more Berber nomads, and you could do something fun with that. There's just a lot that you could do with this, but they're not. And I mean, the shipments aren't that great. 16 of these guys, I'd rather have 16 revolutionaries any day, I think. 1-4 obviously is good. 16 Corsair marksmen, these guys are pretty bad, so I don't know I would really want that. 3 infinite falcons is good in 1v1s, but age 4 falcons, an infinite shipment of 3 of them is it's whatever. And I don't know, it's just, it feels like weak sauce. There's so much they could do and they're not. So obviously they're working on other revolts right now, as y'all have seen in the public update preview, but I do hope these get a little bit more. I hope they look at this a little bit more, is I guess what I want to say. I want to check the stable, see if there's anything unique there. We can't like build these guys or anything. Yeah, we just got normal cav units. So I think that's all for this one. Hopefully they do get some changes at some point in the future. But I think, at least going off what happened in the pup, it's going to be a while till we get some changes to it, because it didn't get any changes in the public update preview. So I'll see you for the next one.